Get a quarterback. Get a winning quarterback. Welcome to the Voice of College Football. Huskers Live right here. We're back. Tuesday night. Lock it in here. Tuesday night, 6 Central, 7 Eastern. Greg Peterson, Husker Online. Bam. Shows up right on time. And then we got Justin Adams, of course, hosting our post game right here at the Voice of College Football. And unfortunately, Husker fans, I don't need to remind you, but I will. Justin would have been able to make it back for one more post game, but couldn't get that 6th win.
That's tough.
So hopefully that happens next year. Justin, you can join him on Cheesy Corn Sports as well.
Yes, sir.
Greg, what's going on today?
You know, just like everybody else, I guess, watching the flight paths of airplanes.
Yeah.
Husker fans are for just being kicking the tires on quarterbacks in the transfer portal. So
that is one way to put it.
Yep. Definitely some names being thrown around, some more wild than others, but I think a few of them are feasible. So
before we get to that, just because there's two things we know for sure in terms of player personnel changes, we've got the two tight ends. We've got Jake Applegate and we've got John Goodwin, who have entered the transfer portal. Not necessarily huge on-field losses, but just to note that those guys have entered the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Strange to me that Jake Applegate decided to leave. I mean, he's a Lincoln Southeast kid with, former teammates from Southeast on the team. So that was kind of weird. But he wasn't recruited by Coach Rule, obviously. But, I don't know. Upset about playing time, probably. I'm not sure. But that's a head scratcher to me.
I was wondering if it had anything to do with the fact that, the tight end room is going to be pretty loaded next year. And then bringing in Carter Nelson, we're going to have probably six guys, I think, total in that room. So
he's a hell of a safety, though, too. He could have switched positions easily.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking, as a lifelong Nebraska fan growing up and, played here in Lincoln as high school football and, got a scholarship offer in Nebraska. It's just kind of weird for a kid like that to jump in the transfer portal. But, you never know.
Yeah.
He can always come back. But, yeah.
Yeah. John Goodwin makes a
probably most likely that he had his meeting with Coach Rule, and Coach Rule said he probably won't be a starter here and decided to move on. That's what logic would tell me.
Yeah. And Goodwin made more sense because he's just a walk-on from 2019. He only played in 2 games, so that was a little bit more of a.
I don't mean to be harsh, but that one's irrelevant.
Yeah, exactly.
That helps out numbers.
Yeah, for sure.
Neither one of them posted any stats in their careers.
Nope.
Just
well, Jake was a freshman, though. I mean,
yeah. He only played 26 snaps total. So.
All right. Didn't want to minimize that, but just thought we would get the certainties out of the way. So that's the transfer portal.
We got together, didn't really expect a whole lot of movement from current guys leaving. So
that's the biggest thing. I don't think there's a lot.
1,000 guys join 1,000 plus guys join the transfer portal across the country, and you get 2 tight ends from Nebraska, which, like you mentioned, you got a lot of talent in that tight end room ahead of you. So
for sure, it's definitely a change of pace from last year, because last year was just go, and it was anticipated, like you said, that we're not going to lose probably a lot of players to the portal. However, it's one of those things. It's like, you always still have the occasional surprise one, like Ernest Hausman last year, and stuff like that. So still can maybe anticipate a couple surprises. Quentin Newsom declared for the draft, so good for him. But we'll wait and see if there's any kind of bombshell surprise portal entries. But yeah, I think they're up to like over 1,400 players in the portal now. So kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder if Ernest Hausman has any, not necessarily regrets because he still has his career in front of him at Michigan, but he didn't play much. He wasn't a starter.
He would have probably been a key cog on our defense. Was super talented.
Yeah, he was
a lot of promise freshman year.
Proving big time. He played a lot as a freshman year.
Yep. Played really well too. A lot of people were just excited about him as one of our main pieces on defense that we're most excited about, because like he came out and like he said, he played really well year one, and just, I guess he just, decided to move on. I don't know if it was money or anything like that, but
I get the question about regrets because you see what Tony White did with his defense this year.
Yeah.
And obviously Eric Shenander was the guy that recruited him here.
Mm-hmm.
And Barrett Ruud as the linebackers coach. So, you can't fault a guy for when his coaches, basically get fired.
Exactly.
To look elsewhere, because you build a bond with those guys during your recruitment.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, obviously looking at, the way Nebraska played defense this year and how coveted Tony White is as a defensive coordinator. And you wonder if he didn't want to come back home. I mean, I guess he could probably still transfer back, right?
Yep.
Who knows?
We would clear room for him for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Now let's get to what everyone wants to talk about. Quarterbacks. So everybody out there, consider this. I'm not going to go through all the names of the starting quarterbacks, but I'll just say it this way. Consider starting quarterbacks at Oregon State, UCLA, Mississippi State, Arkansas, Minnesota, Ohio State, and we could keep going. I could name some other ones. Kansas State comes to mind. All those guys have entered the transfer portal. All sorts of experienced quarterbacks.
And we know what we know right now. I mean, Nebraska's already talked to Kansas State's Will Howard. We know that. They've already talked with Michigan State's Sam Levitt. They went to Baylor today to see Blake Shapen. And they're en route to Columbus, Ohio to talk to Kyle McCord right now. So that's basically, in a nutshell, what they're up to right now. Yep.
And the biggest thing about the QB room and what might come from this is it's the question marks of, are they going to want to get one quarterback in the portal? I know Rule again had alluded to a guy he wanted for multiple years. Well, Levitt fits that perfectly. He's got 4 years. He somewhat fits what they want to do in the offense, because he's mobile, really good pocket awareness. He made some great throws. The 25-yard touchdown pass he threw was actually against Nebraska. It was that little tight window throw where the guy dove in the end zone. It wasn't a catch.
It was a trick.
They called it a catch. It wasn't a catch, but the throw was still money. Like, he put the throw right where it needed to be. He was, he's underthrown a few deep balls just looking at his game film back. But he makes some exceptional tight window throws, and there's no doubt in his confidence. He's very confident in his ability. So that leads me to wonder if
head scratcher to me too, though. He doesn't really fit the mold. And, like Rule said, he definitely fits has multiple years, but like a Will Howard doesn't really make sense to me. He's only got a year left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Blake Shapen, he recruited him at Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a connection there.
Yep.
Kyle McCord is a passing quarterback. He's not that dual threat guy like Matt Rule wants. So that one's kind of strange to me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Why you win 11 games at Ohio State with the kind of weapons that you have? Why would you want to come to Nebraska that you have a bunch of freshmen, fast wide receivers that don't have much experience? And the product hasn't shown on the field. So that's weird as well. I mean, this is going to be a long way from over, and obviously NIL has a big thing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So many of these quarterbacks are in the portal, and you don't know, are they in it for the payday, or are they in it to win at the next level? And right now Nebraska hasn't shown that on the field that's going to make you get to the NFL any faster with what's going on right now. So it's just, with so many options out there, it's just, in my mind, it's kind of silly to try to guess who they're going to take at this time right now.
Yeah, there's no telling. It's just just a matter of trying to see what the rest of the quarterback room is going to do too when we do get one of these guys, because Chubba Purdy can probably, get some money somewhere, just with the name value Purdy itself. And then also, does he potentially want to come sit behind a guy, if we bring in, I think if we bring in Will Rogers or something like that, of course, he's going to be the starter. So does Chubba want to then come sit behind him? What happens there? What happens with the churn, Harburg and all them? That's another thing too, is just, I'm wondering if they're courting multiple just in case we lose a quarterback in the portal after we make a move or so. But
no, they're doing their own thing now. I mean, last year, the big get was Jeff Sims, obviously. Mm-hmm. And that was a suggestion from a head coach colleague to coach school. This year, they're actually going out and looking for a guy that's going to. So they didn't really. They're going to take this meticulously slow, and gauge it to who's definitely going to fit into the system and who really wants to play here. So yeah, right now, with all these guys out there that have not made any kind of a decision yet, I mean, it's so wide open right now. It's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, for sure. And it's with the Sims stuff, it's a lot of Sims was a very quick thing, and it was there was surprise, like even with Casey Thompson last year, like we didn't anticipate him leaving last year, but he ended up in there in the portal, surprise. So with Sims, the only thing that is concerning is hoping that their evaluation process is better this year, and I think it will be, just because last year there were so many moving parts. Hiring the staff. They had 47 people visit between December and January, I believe. I read 47 visitors between the transfer portal and the 2023 class in December and January. So last year it was just go, gun. And it seems like they have the opportunity to slow it down a little bit more this year and do their due diligence, which I think will hopefully pay off in the long run.
So who do you guys want? Do you have a wish list?
I actually like Levitt and Howard. I like Levitt as a future prospect. His, just watching his highlights and stuff like that, he has really good moments, more good moments than bad moments. And he was a 4-star recruit, #1 kid out of Oregon, 21st overall quarterback in the 23 class. So he has the makings of a good quarterback. He just was behind. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Hauser, who also entered the portal, but he was behind Hauser. And like I said, in the limited action, he had 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So nothing to write home about. Just trying to look at him as a quarterback, though. There's some good, but there's more good than bad. And so that's the biggest thing. And then I think I don't know if they go with Levitt, since he is a second-year guy with 4 years to play. I don't know if they then try to go get, both them and a Will Rogers. I don't know how that's going to work, but I guess time will tell. But I really like Levitt as a future play prospect.
I think I would just take a 1-year rental on Dylan Gabriel. Is what I would like to see.
That would be nice. That'd be nice if they can land him, for sure.
There you see Levitt got his feet wet in 4 Big Ten games. There you see the touchdown pass against Nebraska in 2 attempts. He also faced Minnesota, a game that Michigan State was in until late in the 4th quarter, threw for 73 yards and a touchdown there. Got in the Michigan game as well, 4 for 7, and also against Maryland. If we would pull up Dylan Gabriel's numbers, we would see them then pop off the screen at 10,000 yards and 100 touchdown passes in his career compared to Levitt. Obviously, completely different objectives, as Justin said, in getting either one of those guys as a one-year guy versus a developmental approach.
And you got, I mean, if you're Coach Rule and Coach Satterfield, you got to kind of consider that. What's best for your squad right now to stockpile a few wins on a very different looking conference next year where your schedule is loaded. And, somebody that's a proven winner instead of a guy that like you really want a guy that you can develop a little bit. So it's a tough decision either way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and just it poses the question of whether Rule, he's a developer of talent, just in his nature, and he has alluded to wanting to stick to that kind of game plan of bringing guys in and develop them. It's just a matter of does he, there's a little bit of urgency I feel like on like you said, winning. And it's like, does he trust bringing in a guy like Levitt and trust his ability to develop him quickly? Or does he want to go for broke next year and really try to just attack it with a one-year guy like a Dylan Gabriel or Will Rogers? I just wasn't sure if he was willing to go, top of the top if he can get a Levitt type of guy for a little bit less.
Definitely the debate.
Yep.
I mean, there's a reason why, his statements about how much a transfer portal quarterback costs is still on ESPN right now. Some of these guys are worth $5 million right now.
It's crazy.
And, I know Nebraska's in good shape, but that 1890 initiative, they don't want to fork out $5 million for one player. That's why, the business side comes into this so much more that we're not used to anymore. And Nebraska needs to get some of that Warren Buffett money on board with Berkshire Hathaway.
Where's he at when we need him? He could buy us a few quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Like with pennies to him, essentially. And never mind.
He offered my grandmother a job way back in the day.
Did he really?
Turned him down. Yeah.
Oh no.
She was a stock market wizard and impressed him. And imagine how much different my life could have been now if I took that job.
Get a mooch dollar. And never mind me, to his point, that's something we talked about last week where he's like, there are college players making more than the pros. We talked about the rookie minimum like Brock Purdy's making. Was it like the rookie minimum is like $750K, and then these guys are getting upwards of 1.5-2 million, making more than Tony White.
If Chubba all of a sudden is the guy, man, maybe he can make more than Brock.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Brock Purdy.
I'm guessing that San Francisco is taking care of Brock Purdy. Yeah. I'm guessing that they bumped that. I might be wrong.
They probably got incentives.
He's like in the top of the MVP conversation right now. So
he's getting some bonuses for sure.
Exactly. So based on what I'm looking at, officially he's still at 870, the rookie minimum or the second year minimum. But they picked in with bonuses and compensation.
And who's paying him for advertising too? That he's probably getting big time.
Yeah.
So
that's why I feel like Chubba might be, get an opportunity to just with his name value, to make money.
Yeah.
Potentially there might be people trying to,
good barbecue place ought to pay for him, Chubba.
Yeah.
Chubba's barbecue.
Yeah. The Holy Cross.
Porky Chubbas.
People are in the chat bringing up this Holy Cross quarterback. I am completely unfamiliar with him.
I saw his name on a list. Yeah,
I don't think there's much to that.
Yeah,
and then people were, of course, Cam Ward, but he's probably a lock to Ohio State at this point, it seems like.
kind of looks like.
Yeah, I don't think Cam Ward we would have went for anyways.
No. No, it's all like wishful thinking at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan Gabriel completed almost 70% of his passes last year, and Nebraska's slew of quarterbacks struggling to complete 50%. Just think about the efficiency difference of how much that would bring.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well,
Like even with average QB play, you win 8 games.
You had an offense that produced 18 points per game and had 31 turnovers during the season. So, yeah, you definitely need some kind of an upgrade at that position.
Mm-hmm.
That, they need to find that offensive identity that I think they've been looking for still. And you got to have that guy at the helm that's going to be able to run that. And I think he would be perfect. I mean, he's been at UCF, he's been at Oklahoma, and played at a high level when healthy. Hell, he's even beaten Nebraska. So,
Yep.
No, I think he'd be a really good fit for what Coach Rule likes. And maybe then you also bring in maybe Blake Shapen, for a guy that with him, is a guy that Coach Rule recruited at Baylor.
Yeah.
He already likes him. So, I mean, yeah, that's a good possibility that Justin was talking about earlier about bringing 2 in.
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
Yeah. And like all of these.
Maybe that would force Jeff Sims to jump in the transfer portal, and then you got a happy room again.
That might free up some money, too, if Sims jumps in there. But, I mean, we couldn't be upset with any of these names because they're all an upgrade. And at the very least, if it's a guy like Levitt's going to come in and breed competition for Chubba Purdy. And I think there would be a good little QB competition there coming into the season.
Anybody coming in is definitely that's what you're trying to spark too, right? I mean,
yeah,
because you already know that you like a Chubba Purdy, you already like a Heinrich Harburg.
Yeah,
and bring in competition and make it a fight. I mean, we saw that last year when Jeff Sims came in.
Yep.
Those guys were all pretty darn close going through the spring and fall when healthy, and we saw how it turned out. They all played snaps.
Yep,
so.
For sure.
Could Heinrich Harburg be turned into a tight end?
He caught a pass early in the season.
Do anything. He can play any position.
He's got the size for it.
Like I've said many a times, when I went and saw him play in high school, he was the gunner on the punt team. He was the return man on kickoffs. He played safety. He played quarterback. He can do it all, yeah.
He's just a football player. He wants to get out there and he wants to contribute.
He has elite speed as a ball carrier. And he's big and tough and durable.
The advanced stats, one of them clocked him at 21 miles per hour on one of the runs.
Yeah.
Which is absurd.
He can run like the wind.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, he's a very versatile guy, and that's why going into the season that people were thinking that he was going to change positions.
Yeah.
Coach Rule liked what he saw from him as a quarterback, and I mean, obviously Heinrich wants to play quarterback, but I'm sure he's more than willing to switch positions, whatever it takes to help the team out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He can maybe even feel like a Taysom Hill style role, where he, like you said, he did a little bit of everything in high school. What's stopping Nebraska from using him as a Swiss Army knife in that way,
I was shocked. I've never, the first time in my life I ever seen somebody starting quarterback out there being the gunner on the punt team.
Yeah.
I mean, it just shocked me, and I was enamored by it.
Yep. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. But you can see it in his play that, the plays that he makes, when he first came in for the first couple of weeks, he was just doing whatever he had to do, battling, putting his body on the line. And you could just tell that he just is a guy that wants to get out there and make plays, and will lay everything out there on the line. It's a guy you want on the field. So in any way you can get him.
Yep.
All right. You want to throw this Holy Cross quarterback into the mix? He's definitely a dual threat guy based on his stats.
Yeah.
Matthew Sluka. So tough to look at the stats with the level of competition. However, did have a game against Army, 16 of 23 for $156, 37 carries. So he's putting Heinrich Harburg to shame, who I used to think. 37 in one game for 171.
Man.
And against Boston College. So this was his most legit opponent of the season. Boston College, 15 of 30, 130 yards, and no touchdowns, no picks. 19 carries for $131 against Boston College. He ran for 1,200 yards.
Huh.
I don't know how much he's going to be able to run that. I don't know if he's going to be able to run that much in the Big Ten. His body's going to get tore up.
What's his measurables?
According to, we've got 6'3", 216.
Okay.
Now he's decent size, but I mean, even Harburg, it seemed like over the course of him running 19, 20 times a game, it seemed like it even started to take a toll on him. And he's 6'5".
Harburg will run over you. I don't know about this guy. Looks like he's trying to run around you.
Yeah, the Harburg's definitely got the size on him for sure.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't catch many Holy Cross games. I'm very unfamiliar with.
Me neither.
Yeah.
You didn't catch many, but you still caught like 3 this year, right?
No, sorry.
Right, Greg? 3?
No, they were probably all played at 11 a.m. when I was at the
probably.
And
I just knew that they put a scare into Boston College. I remembered that.
Oh yeah, yep.
Well, Boston College was not very good though.
And to
true. They were 6-6.
Oh, okay.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Wow. Going bowling.
They're killing it.
They are.
To John Diadamo's comment too, they're actually meeting with McCord today. So they flew straight from Waco out to.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Well, he just said I heard McCord might be coming. So just reiterating that.
Yeah. No, they flipped it around. Baylor to Columbus. Awesome.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny. The fans know all they post the screenshots of the flight tracker all over Twitter. So
that's the craziness about Nebraska football.
Yep.
It's like a coaching search.
You can't get away with anything.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
It's crazy. I mean, It's almost like the old days that we'd go out on the tarmac and wait for a plane to land and see who got out.
Yeah, the old days.
Yeah.
Exactly. If there was some kind of coaching search, you would find out where they were going to be, what airport, where you could intercept them and get a sound bite and all that. But where do they get these airport tracker destinations and flight patterns?
App on your phone you can get.
Yeah. I'm not
pretty easy
to get somebody else's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You just search all the itineraries and you find it.
And if you know the actual
number, you need to know the flight
plane,
number.
The flight number, then you can connect the dots for sure.
Yeah.
Nebraska fans are crazy. They'll find a way to figure it out.
So if I told you guys, okay, I'm flying to Dallas this Friday, you would be able to figure out what flight I was on.
Yeah. I mean, what
purpose does that serve?
Trying to leave from Akron or Columbus?
Yeah, that doesn't seem like that would be allowable.
But the thing is, like, they know
it's FAA information. I mean, it's it's public information.
Yeah, and they also they know the flight information of this particular plane. So
every plane has to, they all have to file their flight plan, and it goes into a national data bank, and all you got to do is know what you're looking for, and you can find it.
I don't know.
I've seen them be wrong
before.
before.
Why that has to be public information? Somebody's private plane flight
I
plans.
don't know either. I guess for tracking.
We're living here. It's 2023, 2024 almost.
Not anything. Nothing's private these days.
Yeah, everything is out there.
Yep, but I've seen Husker fans jump the gun and be wrong before, but I think so far they're on point.
Mike Riley was getting hired. We were like, oh, they're flying into Beatrice Airport. What?
Yep.
You got to go out here at 7 a.m. We drive an hour to Beatrice and get to this little airport. You can't even get in because it's not even open. And we hang out there. It's like, oh, no, they're coming into Lincoln. So we hightail it back, go to Duncan Aviation just to see him get off the plane and then drive to the hotel and get out at Embassy Suites downtown and just walk in. It's just like, okay, great.
That's rough. Chasing the plane.
Yeah. And everybody, like, there was a caravan of media cars, like, heading to Beatrice that morning. It was like,
that's
come on.
hilarious. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, I went through that from a news process, but I never did it personally. I was always on the phone calling this station or that station to say, can you send me your clip of so-and-so coach?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
It was not a pleasant assignment.
No, thank you.
No. Oh, we got some crazies around here, though. I mean, you can tell by, just the way Husker fans are so fanatic. And I mean, we've got a colleague at KTV, Andrew Ozaki, who's like a sniper. He's always out there getting footage of whatever's going on. And he was stationed outside the Lincoln North Star High School when Bo Pelini was in the process of getting fired, leaving, having a personal team meeting at a high school, and Ozaki is out there in the bushes shooting sniper footage of the thing.
Man, that's funny.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Yep.
So competitive.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he's on my team.
But he's trying to be the first one.
Cliff, thanks for chiming in. Cliff is listening from the Florida Panhandle. Thank you, Cliff.
Ooh.
Great show.
Huskers in Florida. Love it.
Wish we would have been here in a couple of weeks. That would have been nice. But no.
And another point, I saw somebody talking about we need to get offensive line. I think the biggest needs right now are going to be wide receiver and linebacker. And it's slim pickings. I mean, we are over. I mean, we're at 100 scholarships and we got about 85 slots open. So it's not going to be, we're not going to be out there getting a bunch of guys. It's probably going to be between 2 and 4 guys that we're going to be adding. And it's got to be linebackers, receivers, and quarterbacks. So
and you got some good incoming freshmen on the offensive line.
Bricks, and then we got some good talent there. Another year under Raiola.
Oh, the kid from the Houston area is also pretty impressive.
Yep.
You've already got an experienced group of guys coming back for next year. So
For sure.
I like what they have going on the offensive line.
For sure.
And especially if you get a couple of these guys to stay for another year, which everything I hear is Bryce Benhart is going to stay. So you got a line that is much improved and only getting better and better. So
yeah.
But obviously you always need more linebackers.
Absolutely. Yep.
And there's plenty of them out there.
Especially with who we lost to the draft.
Yeah.
For sure. Thanks, Cheney. Appreciate it.
Yes, Greg, do you know what your special assignment tonight is?
Got to watch Big Red wrap up here after we get done.
No, tonight on this show, your special assignment is to lead us in a rendition of Happy Birthday for Justin.
Oh, it's Justin's birthday.
Yes,
Let's
we're gonna
hear
have
it.
you be the lead singer.
Wow. What are you, 64?
I feel like it. That's what my body feels like. I was telling Mark before the show, I coming off of 2 ruptured biceps in consecutive years. My right bicep I ruptured twice since my first clean year without rupturing my bicep in December. So now I'm turning 33.
Quit lifting stuff over your head.
No, it was actually boxing. It was sparring. It was sparring that I ruptured it in. It was freak accident. But
so what is the age then?
33.
Wow, what a youngster! Wow,
33.
Get to keep me in Mark's age.
We were just there, Greg.
Yeah,
just past 33.
yeah.
It is starting to go quick. I'm starting to feel a little older. I think I woke up with back pain.
So we got 7 years left until life goes way downhill, brother.
Well, that's the spirit, I guess. Yeah, once I hit 40, though, it's kind of like, I guess I got to pack it in from there, huh?
Yeah, we'll just wait till you get to 55 or 56 and then see how it goes.
I'm going to try to enjoy 33 as much as I can.
I would.
Do that.
I think I did to its fullest.
Yeah.
If I still can remember that far back. Oh, well, happy birthday, bro.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. Just hung out with the dogs, ate some Korean barbecue for it. So pretty chill, pretty chill. Birthdays lose their pizzazz after a while.
Yeah.
Start wanting to pretend they don't exist.
Yep.
So I appreciate everybody for the birthday love, though. Thank you, everybody.
Heck, I wish I could have given you a gift. My boss just brought this over to me right before the show started.
That's awesome.
Little Yeti Husker Online on 3.
On 3.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That is very nice.
Yeah.
On 3 is a great transfer portal tracker too, by the way.
Oh man, they track everything.
It's awesome. I've
worked for On 3 and Rivals, and they are On 3 is on top of it all.
Yeah, just in case anybody's wanting to track those things, On 3's got a great transfer portal tracker.
Yep.
So
I'm not saying that because I work for them.
I don't work for them. I'm
totally impressed with them compared to our competitors. Just put it that way.
Yeah, I've been subscribed to them since last year, or joined them last year.
Since we're on the subject of swag, of course, we've got our line there, so we'll provide that link in the chat. But Greg, I don't know if either one of you saw my note that we'll provide you with Voice of College Football gear.
I did.
So you guys can make your selections.
I have ADHD and forgot, but I got the email. I just forgot to go back and look at the stuff. But I did.
My Husker Online email or my other one?
Oh, I send it to the same spot all the time. I don't know if it's the right one, but that's where I send everything. So yeah.
I live in Arizona, so no jackets for me. I'm good with t-shirts.
Whatever you guys want.
Yes, sir.
It's on the site. I think I can afford everything on the site. So maybe I should double check.
He doesn't wear anything that he can't show his pipes off.
Oh, all right. Oh, don't do that to me. Sleeves are uncomfortable, man.
Trust me, in summertime, I don't like them either.
Yeah. Yeah, this weather out here, it's you're wearing a jacket in the morning and cut off sleeves shirts by the afternoon. So rough.
At least here it was a shorts day. It was 48.
Oh, geez, I ain't built for that. I was out in 65 yesterday and I was cold. Appreciate it, John. Everybody's making me feel young, man.
You are young.
I thought I was old.
Thought we made that perfectly clear.
Hey,
yeah, none of that. I don't want to hear anybody 33 telling me that they
feel old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just complain. I'll just complain to all my friends who are most of them are younger than me. They're the ones that make me feel old. So I appreciate everybody here making me feel young. This is the group that I enjoy to be around.
Well, we have made our way through the transfer portal and the possible additions and the quarterback list. So with Anthony Grant, Josh Fleeks, of course, Billy Kemp, a big loss, Luke Reimer at linebacker, Quentin Newsome is declared for the draft. Out of that collection of players, there's a lot of experience, a lot of production. Who do you think is going to be missed the most?
Quentin Newsome.
Yeah, I agree. He made some
heart and soul
tremendous plays. Yeah,
heart and soul of that defense.
And he had such a short memory. He would get beat on a play, and he would right back on it. Like, he has such a short memory, and even when he would miss on a play, he'd be right back there the next play. He would learn from it, and he wouldn't make the same mistake again. I don't think I've seen him make the same mistake twice. So, and mentalities, it's one of those things when you're a DB, you got to have a short memory.
I think he's got a really good shot at being drafted.
Absolutely.
So yeah, no, that's going to be the guy you miss the most.
Absolutely.
You still have a pretty talented running back room. So I mean, obviously Anthony Grant, but you got the two guys coming back from injury to team with Emmett Johnson, and you still got a really nice looking running back room, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, exactly. Quentin Ives and Gabe Irvin is
that I didn't mention. Yeah, who's Coach Rule loves. So
yeah, he got some kick punt return duties and just not too much action at running back, but yeah, definitely he will be in the mix next year.
And they did just get a running back, 2025 running back commit too last week. So
and just
still working on that position.
Yep. And just for the people who were talking about offensive linemen, I did notice a lot of the offers going out are for linebackers, defensive line, and offensive line. So a lot of the offers going out for the 24, 25 classes, or 25 classes rather.
Positions that you always got to have plenty of bodies.
Exactly.
Yep. And plus,
CJ Simon, he's listed as an athlete out of Moore, Oklahoma. Do you guys know anything about him?
Got really good looking film, really talented, fast type of a guy that fits their mold. So, kid that came here and liked what he saw, and see a lot of these guys that Coach Rule gets on early end up getting a bunch of Power 5 offers as it comes down towards the end of each year. So, another diamond in the rough that Coach Rule has a knack to find.
Exactly. Yep.
13th rated athlete in the country in that athlete category. He's going to have to hit the strength and conditioning program. 5'11", 155.
Yeah. That's not going to get it done.
Even Mark could kick him around.
Yeah, even I could. It'd be a struggle, but
yeah, that won't hold up. That won't hold up that in the Big Ten for sure. 155, no.
Appreciate you giving me that much credit, Greg.
Hey, no problem.
His faith in me.
I always got your back, brother.
So does Mike, kicking in with 10. Thank you for that, Mike. Your thoughts, gentlemen, on going to a Big Ten championship game next year? I think they're all for it.
Yeah. Are you asking our confidence level with that schedule next year?
Want to? Yeah, we want to.
We want to. With that schedule next year, the end of that schedule is brutal. Yeah. Ask me again when we land a quarterback, and I'll tell you my confidence level.
Yeah, we got to see what, if we can score more than 18 points a game and, hold on to the ball a little bit better.
Yeah.
To see, I mean, obviously, going into the year, you're going to have a really good defense.
Yeah.
And, now you just got to build that identity on offense that you've been trying to do and get it all working fluidly.
Yep. Yeah. And I'm just curious to see the jump with Satterfield's offense from year 1 to 2, especially with, and the development of the QB position with, an actual QB coach going forward, and Satterfield back to the tight end. So,
yeah, and that's something that is so unclear right now too, that I think maybe people failed to ask Coach Rule about who he would be looking at to bring in as a quarterback coach.
Yeah, because it was Jake Peets last year, right? That he was looking at.
Yeah.
Through.
Yeah. And that you can bring in, with the change in the rules, that now some of these analysts can actually physically coach, not during games, but during practice when they haven't been allowed to. So I got to think that Coach Rule has a lot of contacts there that he could be looking at as a quarterback coach.
Absolutely.
But nobody's really touched on that with him.
No.
And we won't talk to him again until signing day. So we're a couple weeks away from talking to him again. So
he hasn't really showed his cards at all outside of just mentioning it overall, as to why Satterfield was a little bit, he had a lot going on. But outside of that, he's not really mentioned it at all, for sure.
Yeah.
Of course, Mike, to answer your question, I'll term it this way. There is something that no longer exists that is a key factor there to your disadvantage, and that would be no more Big Ten West.
Yep, exactly. No more divisions.
Make the top two.
Yep, no more divisions.
No, and you know what? That's been a debate that I've heard a couple of times today, that where Nebraska does fall into the college football landscape in this day and age. And, I think Nebraska checks off a couple of those boxes where they are in a conference that's, one of the top two conferences. So they have the resources, they have the money, and
the facilities too.
And the facilities. And the one thing that you're not showing right now is, can you do it on the field?
Yep.
And that's the major thing, obviously, that you have to change to get into that conversation.
Yep.
But, I mean, to make the top 12 teams at the end of the year, you have to have that formula and those resources to get that done. And I think the biggest asset Nebraska has, which is the most important, is the two guys at the top, your athletic director, Trev Alberts, and your head coach in Matt Rule. These two guys know what it takes to get it done. And you've already seen the improvements that they've made since both of them showed up here. So
yep.
I like the chances of Nebraska being able to turn things around, with this leadership that they have, get themselves back into that conversation.
For sure. And
you're in a conference where you're always going to have a shot at it.
Yep.
Obviously the conference champion is going to automatically make it into the playoff.
Yep.
And then, you're going to have to put yourself over the top of that second best team in the conference maybe there's 3 teams out of the conference. It's hard to say.
Yeah, it is.
But, obviously you get in a better position being in the Big Ten and the SEC for that to happen than anywhere else. So
we can always go back to leaders and legends divisions. That was fun while it lasted.
I wonder if the hat that I got the first year we were in the Big Ten that said that, I wonder if that's worth anything at a garage sale.
Might be. And to John Field's point about Adam DeMichelle, there was he posted a picture of him throwing a ball, and there was a lot of people, wondering if that was indication that he would take over as a QB coach. So, but I'm not sure. We haven't heard anything else on that. I know they're Nebraska and Rule staff has liked to be a little bit cryptic on Twitter, so it's hard to tell what's cryptic and what's not. So
yeah, for a guy Rule's age, he has Twitter down pretty good, in my opinion.
Exactly. Yeah, he came out and killed it last year for sure.
Yeah.
little less this year, but probably because he's got a lot more focus on getting a QB.
Yeah, he's got a little bit more going on.
Yep.
All right, folks. We do appreciate you being here. We are back on Tuesday night, so lock it in. You know where we will be. Right here every Tuesday at 6 Central, 7 Eastern, with Greg, with Justin. So we would appreciate you coming on back here next Tuesday and bring your family, friends, anybody you don't know. Just grab people on the street and bring them into your house and throw them in front of the laptop or whatever it is. Show them your phone on the street as you're walking the dog. Just say, hey, it's time for Huskers Live. Let's have a little block party.
Give them some Scarlet and Cream and just let them, just let them find it on their own.
Yeah.
Show them the light. Lead them, but don't show them the games.
Uh-oh.
Just
Not yet.
Now you just woke up the dogs.
Oh, God.
I heard you say walking the dog.
That was it. Yeah, they're smart.
Thanks for that.
Oh, I'll have to spell it out next time. They'll still probably figure it out.
Yeah, they're pretty smart.
All right, folks. On your way out, please hit the like button. It just takes a second. And please subscribe here at the Voice of College Football. It doesn't cost you a penny, so you might as well do it. We appreciate that. Join Greg and his work at Husker Online. That's right here on YouTube, or you can go to huskeronline.com. And then, of course, Cheesy Corn Sports. What's going on over there?
We are adding some stuff to our socials. So Cheesy Corn Sports on Facebook, Cheesy Corns. It's just Cheesy CORNS on Twitter, and posting updates and stuff there. But just our typical Friday night streams at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then our Sunday morning streams 2 hours before the for the football games. If you are interested in football or just fantasy football, just slide over there.
That's Sunday.
Hey, I'm about to actually save that and use that as my intro.
I was going to say.
How about that?
Professional voice actors, you're calling.
Yep.
He's going to want a fee for that, but
yeah, I didn't get a broadcasting degree for nothing. Come on.
All right. For Greg, for Justin, appreciate y'all being here, and we will see you back here next week.
And happy birthday again, young fella.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Thanks everybody else for the birthday wishes. Appreciate everybody showing up for my birthday party.
Happy birthday